You thought you were coming for our children, but we are coming for you. Far-left psychotic liberals held a grooming drag show for children, and Texas is fighting back. I hate feeling like I have to do a disclaimer before I start a video, but it's 2022. So I am not wholly against drag shows. As a matter of fact, I've been to a bunch of drag shows because I have a friend who does drag. And that's why I am so wholly against having children there. It's because I've been there. I know what it is. I know what it's all about. It is adult entertainment. It is not anything that is meant for children. With that being said, let's get into this. I have an article here from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. There's no such thing as a family-friendly drag queen nightclub show for kids. In Dallas over the weekend, the gay nightclub Mr. hosted an event, Drag Your Kids to Pride, a family-friendly drag queen show. WFAA TV Channel 8 reported drag performers dance and walk down the aisle in the center of the room. At times, the dancers would take dollar bills from children. The nightclub is obviously intended for adults. Drag queens danced in front of a neon sign in the club that reads, "It's not going to lick itself." So let me show you some quick highlights, or I should probably say lowlights, from this show. This family-friendly show. Andy No says this performer from the children's drag show in Dallas, Texas is Albert Xavier Estrada, who also uses the name Ariel Diamond. Estrada posted previously about his OnlyFans. Really? You know, when I was little, my parents took me to see things like the Ice Capades or somebody dressed up as Spider-Man at the mall. I think it's only fair to point out that not everybody who does drag is on OnlyFans. You know, some people have regular jobs. But this is the performer that they decided to go with for this family-friendly event. Here's a quick clip. We have grown men in booty shorts / thongs taking money from children, dollar bills, being tipped by, I mean, goodness, how old can these kids possibly be? They look like they might be in the 8 years old range. Definitely old enough to be able to read this "it's not gonna lick itself" sign. For those of you who are okay with family-friendly drag shows for kids, let me ask you a couple of questions. If it's family-friendly, why is there a giant glowing neon sign that says it's not going to lick itself? No one tried to cover it up or turn it off. Number 2, if it's family-friendly, why is it in a bar that features adult entertainment? Number 3, if it's family-friendly, why are little kids tipping adult males with dollar bills? There are elementary school aged children making it rain on grown men. Number 4, if it's family friendly, why are grown men wearing thongs and booty shorts in front of little kids? And don't tell me that none of them had access to an evening gown. Number 5, if it's family friendly, why are grown men dropping it like it's hot and having kids catching it like it's cold? Inquiring minds want to know. This is sexualized dancing. This is a sexualized performance. This is adult entertainment. And all these people need to be arrested. These parents, they need to have their children taken away from them. These people who would perform like this in front of children, they need to be arrested too. Put the parents in jail. Put the performers in jail. Put whoever okayed this in jail. Put whoever set this up in the first place in jail. And put these kids into some decent homes. You'd be calling CPS, CYS, whatever it's called in your state. These children should not be with these abusive parents. If this is what you think is appropriate for your child to see, then you do not deserve to have a child. I'm going to talk to the regular liberals, not the far ones, but just the normal people. You cannot vote Democrat anymore. I'm sorry. If this isn't your line in the sand, then I don't know what is. And notice there has been no pushback from the White House. This is what they want right here. This is what they think is okay. They are pushing this kind of stuff. This is a picture of a 10-year-old drag queen posing with an adult male who is sans clothing right here. And they're trying to tell you that it's beautiful and it's not sexualized. Same thing with this picture of this little boy with his legs spread like that. I mean, this is disgusting. This is beyond disgusting, but this is what you are voting for. This is what they are pushing. God help you if you still vote Democrat after this. And I know some people are saying, oh, conservatives are overusing the term grooming. I'm not going to play this clip from Fleckus Talks because I already have an active strike on my channel. And I don't want to take that risk, but I will tell you what they're saying in this video. So he's asking this drag queen, do you think that exposing more children to drag will make them want to go into drag eventually? And the response is, yes. Do you know what that is? That's grooming. See, when you're grooming a child, you don't start them off with the most extreme thing. You start at a low level and then you continuously work your way up. So let's just bring them in. Let's just show them the show, okay? And then the next thing we're gonna do is we'll have them walk. We'll have them just walk down the runway, okay? And then after that, let's have them go down the runway and they're gonna remove some clothing, but not all their clothing. You know, they'll still be mostly fully clothed, but just have them take off one or two items, and then they take off more and more clothes, and they're taking in dollar bills, and everybody's cheering for them, and they think that this is just great and wonderful, and then the next thing you know, they are completely trafficked. Because we're not talking about adults. We're talking about children. And I'd just like to note that even though I only showed one here, there are multiple people, including drag queens and regular attendees, that are all agreeing that yes, this is going to get children into drag. And I think it's wonderful. These are photos here of this poor child being exploited, taking dollar bills from grown men, performing in adult clubs, and unfortunately they have this child removing their clothing during these performances. This kid isn't removing all of their clothing, but this is grooming. Article here from the Post Millennial. Texas lawmaker to bring bill to ban minors from drag shows. Texas State Rep Brandon Slayton brought a bill on Monday to specifically bar minors from attending drag shows in his state. This after a weekend that saw protests and counter-protests outside a drag show intended for kids at a bar in Dallas. Drag shows are no place for a child, Slayton said. I would never take my child to a drag show, and I know Speaker Dan Phelan and my Republican colleagues wouldn't either. I will be filing legislation to address this issue in the new Texas legislature. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. And the idea that we need to file legislation for this is kind of shocking to me. Like, isn't this already illegal? The events of this past weekend were horrifying and show a disturbing trend in which perverted adults are obsessed with sexualizing young children, Slayton said. The state representative is obviously not speaking in hypotheticals, as there was an event hosted on Saturday where kids were specifically singled out and invited to come see a drag show in the Dallas area gay bar. The event was literally called Drag the Kids to Pride. Following several news stories and videos over the weekend in which underage Texas children were subjected to inappropriate sexual content by adults, State Representative Brian Slayton announced he plans to file legislation protecting kids from drag shows and other inappropriate displays as soon as the next legislation session begins, the letter read. Slayton issued a statement reading, "The events of this past weekend were horrifying and show a disturbing trend in which perverted adults are obsessed with sexualizing young children. As a father of 2 young children, I would never take my children to a drag show," he continued. The state lawmaker intends to fight sex change therapies for minors. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Saying that they are child abuse. No. This goes along with Governor Greg Abbott and Attorney General Ken Paxton in the state, which have said previously when they initiated plans to investigate parents who facilitate and medicalized gender transition for minors, including puberty blockers, aka chemical castrators, that stunt growth and natural development, gender mutilation surgeries, mastectomies for healthy young girls, and cross-sex hormones. Yes, this is absolutely something that needs to be banned on a federal level. I promised my voters that I would stand up for their values and fight to protect Texas kids. I was reelected on that promise, and I intend to keep it by authorizing legislation to defend kids from being subjected to drag shows and other inappropriate events. I look forward to working with my colleagues to pass this important legislation, Slayton concluded. Yeah, I know a lot of people are afraid that people are going to come in and call them names. Oh, you know, you're phobe and all this. But let me tell you something. When it comes to protecting the children, sticks and stones, okay? I do not care about what kind of names you call me. When history is recorded, I am going to be one of the people who stood up and said, no, you will not hurt the children. What kind of doctors are these? This is ridiculous. The first thing that you're supposed to do as a doctor is what? You're supposed to do no harm, and you are harming children when you're giving healthy children mastectomies, when you are putting them on puberty blockers, giving them the same drugs that they use to chemically castrate criminals. These drugs, and they'll lie to you, and they'll say, oh yeah, we're just temporarily preventing puberty, will be fine, everything's wonderful. That's a lie. That's a lie. They are sterilizing children. Sterilizing children. It's the worst of the worst. So I'm using my voice. I'm speaking up. I'm fighting the good fight, and you can too. You can do things like contact your representatives, you know, get a hold of your governor. Start sending out emails, start sending out messages, and share videos. Share this video and be on the right side of history.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and please share it. You can help us continue to fight in the war against disinformation by donating at paypal.me/right-left-of-center. I'm River Wright from Right Left of Center, and if you're watching, you're probably right too.